All right, so good afternoon all. My apologies for a somewhat late start. I'm Terrence Blackman, and I'm the Dean of the School of Science, Health, and Technology here at Medgar College. And so what does that mean? It means in some ways I'm responsible for the things that happen in the bathroom and in the classroom here in this beautiful building that we're a part of. It is a genuine pleasure to welcome you this afternoon to NAM's Undergraduate MATHFest. I want to say a few heartfelt words, but I will pause before I say them. I will pause and have Edray, give us some sense of who the National Association, who are the National Association of Mathematicians, and to say something about what the Undergraduate MATHFest is. And then I'll return and offer a welcome on behalf of our president and our provost. And perhaps at that moment, I will say a few words about why I think this is a really, really important thing, and how deeply we here at the college care that you have taken the time to come north, here at Medgar. So without further ado, let me introduce to you Dr. Edray Goins, who is the president of the National Association of Mathematicians. Dr. Goins.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Terrence, for that introduction. Well, certainly welcome everyone. Welcome here to Medgar. Welcome here for the 27th annual MATHFest. I think that probably a lot of you have heard different things about MATHFest over the years, maybe even heard some things about NAM. So I do want to say a little bit about what is NAM, a little bit about what is MATHFest, and kind of give you some overarching history of how things have worked out. I've been president of NAM now for about 2 years, but I've actually been a member of NAM for quite a long time. And NAM itself has actually been around really even longer than I've been around. It's going to celebrate its 50th anniversary in a couple of years. And NAM primarily focuses on the achievements of underrepresented minorities in the mathematical sciences, but in particular, we're also very interested in the achievements of African American mathematicians, and we also definitely focus on being an advocate for HBCUs. And so in particular, I really wanted to have the conference here at Medgar because I think that someone like Dean Terrence Blackman exemplifies those things that we care so much with NAM. Now, NAM actually has lots of activities that take place throughout the year. For example, there are actually 5 different meetings that we have every year, and roughly they follow the different seasons. At the start of the year, we have activities at the joint mathematics meetings. This is roughly in January. In about March or so, we then have our spring meeting, which is the Regional Faculty Conference on Research and Teaching Excellence. Just this last year, we had it at Morehouse College. There's also the Computational Sciences Institute, which actually we're looking to bring back, which hasn't really existed for about 20 years or so. So we're hoping to have this next summer. I can't quite say the location yet because we're going back and forth between a couple of different venues. There is the MAA MATHFest. This is the Mathematical Association of America. That actually just took place in Chicago just a couple of months ago, and it's going to take place in Denver for next year. And then there's finally the event that we're at here today, which is the Undergraduate MATHFest. Now, I know it gets a little bit confusing when you start to hear say the phrase MATHFest, really wondering, well, who really has the original MATHFest? I think it's fair to say that NAM actually does have the original MATHFest, since a lot of different other groups have kind of taken the name on for one reason or another. It is true that the MAA MATHFest has been around longer, but kind of the focus that they had on just undergraduates for the summer is something that only took place after NAM had its Undergraduate MATHFest. That's why I'm very careful here to emphasize the undergraduate as the adjective for the conference. You may have also heard of the National Mathematics Festival. This is an event that takes place roughly every 2 years that's put on by the Mathematical Sciences Research Institute, MSRI. Well, that for a while was actually called MATHFest, and I believe if you try to go to mathfest.org, then that will actually redirect to the National Math Festival. But again, that's really kind of based on the MAA MATHFest, which is also based on the NAM Undergraduate MATHFest. If you want to learn more about NAM as an organization, I do recommend that you take a look at a couple of different websites. There's nam-math.org. This is personally a website that I'm really proud of because we've really worked hard the last couple of years or so to really make this into a nice functional website. So there you can actually become a member, you can update your membership dues, you can actually learn a lot more about the organization, and you can download a copy of our newsletter. We actually do have copies of the newsletter sitting out on the desk outside of the room here. Now, for the Undergraduate MATHFest, for the conference that we're at now, there are essentially 5 different types of activities that take place here for the 2.5-day meeting. Of course, there are going to be student talks. So this year, we're actually blessed to have 5 undergraduates that are going to tell us about the great and exciting research that they've done over the summer and throughout the school year. We will have a couple of students to actually present posters on the research that they've done. We have a few schools that will be a part of our graduate fairs if you'd like to learn more about different opportunities, not only for graduate school, but also perhaps for different RUs, research experiences for undergraduates. We will have representatives here to talk about those. We have a brand new event that I'm happy to start this year for the first time that I'm calling Problem Time with Dr. Cooper. It's actually a playoff of Story Time with Dr. Cooper. I know that there's a couple of students here from Morehouse that probably know a little bit more about that, and I probably would recommend that you talk to these students to kind of ask them what that phrase really means. But we have Dwayne Cooper, who's here, is department chair at Morehouse, who's a longtime member of NAM and a strong, fierce advocate of MATHFest. And I've asked him to give a series of problems to our students here so they can kind of friendly challenge each other in terms of who can either come up with the best solution or come up with the most correct solutions. We are actually going to give out prizes to the students that do the best job in presenting their solutions. So I do encourage everyone to be on the lookout for some of the amazing mathematical skills that we hope to see over the next couple of days or so. Finally, what we're going to have later on today is the J. Ernst Wilkins lecture, and I'll say more about who J. Ernst Wilkins was a little bit later. But when we're finished here, for over the next hour or so, we're actually going to have Stephen Alexander, who will grace us with his presence and give us a little bit of information about the connections between jazz and physics. I just want to say a couple of other things before I turn this back over to Terrence. We actually do have t-shirts for the conference. They haven't been laid out on the tables yet, but they actually are here. They will cost $10, and this t-shirt actually pays homage to David Blackwell, one of our great African-American mathematicians, who also was a statistician. He actually came up with an equation that nowadays we call the Blackwell-Rao theorem. Really, it's an inequality. And this is actually what's featured here on the shirt. So on the front, you can actually see the actual mathematical statement of the Blackwell-Rao theorem. And on the back, you can actually see a scan of the first paragraph of the actual paper in which Blackwell actually presented the proof of this result. So again, we will have the t-shirts on sale for $10. I'll just say, come see me afterwards if you'd like to purchase the t-shirts, and we'll of course have them on display so you can definitely see what they look like. I would be remiss if at least I didn't thank, before I do turn this back over to Terrence, a few people that have been incredibly instrumental in putting the whole conference here together. To start with, I do want to thank at least the members here of the NAM board. I believe Rosalind Williams, if you want to at least raise your hand, Rosalind. She is our executive secretary, secretary-treasurer. So Rosalind has definitely been really great in helping us out with NAM, so I'm very happy that she's able to be here. We also have Dwayne Cooper, as I mentioned earlier, who's a longtime supporter of NAM, but I definitely want to thank him for just advice and support over the years. I'd also like to thank Helen Grumman, if you want to raise your hand. She's actually here as a representative for the American Mathematical Society. And let me see if I can get your title correct. The Director for Diversity and Inclusion at the AMS?
Education and Diversity.
Education and Diversity.
But I'll take whatever.
Okay, okay, but I definitely want to thank her for the support. She's actually presenting a couple of the prizes that we plan to give out here for the presentations. And finally, I certainly would like to thank Dean Terrence Blackman and Medgar for, of course, the great support, both financially and spiritually, that they've given for MATHFest this year. So thank you all very much, and I'll turn it back over to Terrence.
Thank you very much, Edray. So let me be first not formal, but let me say now on behalf of our president, Rudolph Crew, and our provost, Agostino Carreque, I want to formally welcome you to Medgar Evers College. And then let me take a personal prerogative to just say a few words about why this is important. Edray noted the NAM was formed in 1969, and I've always been struck by its founding sort of principle. It has as its focus excellence in mathematics, and to me this seemed like it seemed like when I discovered it seemed like the kind of thing that I've been looking for a very, very long time. Here it was in 1969, a number of African American mathematicians who were, fighting questions of discrimination, set out to form a society that would kind of hold up African Americans in mathematics. And they set as the marker excellence in mathematics. And it's one of the things that, in my role, my stewardship of the School of Science here, that I've tried to lay down as the marker excellence in mathematics, excellence in biology, excellence in chemistry and environmental science, excellence in physics and computer science. And it's this precise notion that I think is really, really vital and really important. And I want to emphasize it because it is more the idea here at Medgar Evers that excellence is something that we value. We value the experience of African Americans. We value the experience of folks who come from underrepresented communities. But most important, we value excellence here at Medgar Evers College. And then I will just say one more thing. And this is purely personal in nature. I want to recognize my colleagues, Ventura Simmons, who served as the deputy chair of the mathematics department. I want to recognize my colleague Josh Sussin, who is a member of our mathematics department. And I want to recognize here our current chair of the mathematics department, Dr. Jean-Michelet. The mathematics department at Medgar Evers College has been long in coming. I started teaching at Medgar Evers as a graduate teaching fellow in about the mid-90s. And at that time, we did not offer an undergraduate degree in mathematics. There are many of this building did not exist at that time. I came to the faculty in a full-time basis after working as a graduate teaching fellow in 2000. And my express point of joining the faculty had to do with a call. I was then in India at the Harish Chandra Research Institute, and I got a call from the former chair of our department, Darius Movasigi, who retired this year, said, we're going to start this program and we'd like you to come join us. And so I came here, in large part because I recognized the importance of mathematics, and I recognized more the importance of doing mathematics of excellence at an institution like Medgar Evers College. And so this program started in about 2000, and now it's 2017, 17 years later. We've graduated on average about 4 or 5 students, so perhaps we have about 60 graduates with a bachelor's degree in mathematics who have come from Medgar Evers College, and I've done the numbers, and one of the things that I can tell you is that we have one student who's completed a doctoral degree. We have a few students who've completed master's degrees in mathematics, but the vast majority of our students have gone on to do either a master's in mathematics or a master's in math education. And so, in some ways, having the NAM MATHFest here at the college is a culmination of a very, very, very long process. And, I was having at lunch earlier today with my thesis advisor, John Velling. I guess he must have slipped out, and he was reminding of the real distance that we've traveled here. And so, it is our, as an institution, but more so my heartfelt thank you to NAM and to Dr. Goins and to Dr. Cooper and all of the folks at NAM to take a chance to have the meeting in the north and have the meeting in the Northeast. And so we're very happy to welcome you here to Medgar College, and we look forward to the talks of the young folks. And I just want to say once again, thank you very much. I should recognize one more person who's here. I want to recognize Don King from Northeastern, who has been a longtime supporter of these matters, and we are deeply appreciative to have Don here at Medgar this afternoon. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and we will go to the next item on our agenda, which is applying for graduate fellowships with Edray Goins. And perhaps maybe maybe to make it exciting, I could probably sit there and ask you some questions while you, okay? So we'll have Edray come up and talk one more about graduate fellowships.
Okay. All right. Well, I know that while making this transition here, I know that there's not a whole lot of students here, but that's perfectly fine. Really, the plan was to have kind of something that will be more of an interest to perhaps students, but also to faculty here in the room who are mentoring their students. And certainly we expect to have a full day of student talks tomorrow. I don't really want to spend a lot of time today because, of course, we're a little bit behind schedule, so I'll probably go about 45 minutes, and then we want to have time to kind of set up and transition from when Professor